really quick update. I shared this entry on Litecoin with the Telegram for free, so as well as sharing updates with you guys. I've been putting out a lot of free content, not just with the paid VIP group, but I just wanted to share it with you for those who are in my Telegram who got into this trade with me. Awesome. For those who didn't, you could still learn from it. So you'll notice on the 4-hour model, this is the dip that I was predicting, right? So we got the dip exactly as I forecasted it, and we bounced right here, the 55 EMA. That's one of my IchEMA dynamic supports. We also have a reversal picking up speed on the 4-hour model, where the Stoch oscillator is reversing and turning up. That means we're shifting momentum. So everything is moving forward exactly as we forecasted it. Now, you also see on the hourly model, we're starting to turn up. Look what happened when the hourly model on the Stoch went up and back down, right? The price went up and back down. See how that happened? Now, if we were looking at the 4-hour model, and we had the Stoch right here, where the orange and the blue lines were just starting to cross and just starting to turn up like this, right? But at the same time, like right now, if we were at the top of the Stoch on the hourly model, that means we're probably going to come down on the hourly, right? See how that happened? We were up high at the Stoch, crossing down, so the price came down. If we were right there right now, then the 4-hour model wouldn't necessarily be bullish. So when you see these crossovers, like, don't say, oh, Jesse, Darth Crypto said that when the stochastic oscillator with the settings of 533, when it has this turn and it's turning up, that means you're going to break out. Yes, the 4-hour model suggests that that is a highly probable scenario. But if you look at the lower time frames, you can see a lot more. On the lower time frame, you can see that we are breaking out on the hourly model, which means we are going to probably break out on the 4-hour model. But if we were at the top of the Stoch cycle, at the top of the Stoch wave on the hourly model, then what would happen on the 4-hour is instead of this continuing into a bullish crossover and turning up, this blue line would go down straight again, and we would continue down further. And we would cycle down again and go lower over the next 4 to 8 hours until the hourly model reset, and then they could turn up. So you want to get confluence where the hourly and the 4-hour model are both turning up bullish at the same time. That's when you want to get in. Then in addition to that, my IchEMA dynamics, I use 3 EMAs, the 55, the 99, and the 222 exponential moving averages. I also use the top and the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud. If you look up at the top of the screen, you'll see it says IchEMA dynamics, right? If you load the indicator on TradingView, just go search for IchEMA dynamics in TradingView under indicators, and you'll see one by Jesse Feinberg. That's me. And that one indicator includes, you can see all the data points here at the end. It has 55, 99, 222, my 3 EMAs, and then the Ichimoku cloud, 2061, 2030 are the settings for that. So it has essentially 4 indicators in one, 3 EMAs in the cloud, and that'll give you all of my dynamic supports. And what that means is when you're coming back down in this correction, the correction I flawlessly predicted, I anticipated where it was going to bounce, because we have confluence again from the 222 EMA and the 55 EMA. Those 2 EMAs right here on the hourly model are highly probable bounce zones. Anytime you're coming back down like this and you're approaching those EMAs, that's where you're going to get a very, very high likelihood of a bounce. How big of a bounce it depends on a lot of variables. In this particular case, the fact that we have the 4-hour model resetting is a really strong sign. So all the right variables came together, and that's how I was able to predict this entry that I shared, not just with the my private trading group, but also with the my Telegram group where I share my free info. But I figured this was a good trade that's going well so far. Now, could this dump and no longer be a good-looking trade? Sure, that's always possible. It's just highly unlikely. There's an 85 to 90% chance that this is going to continue up, and Litecoin is going to be back above 192 within 2 candles. And you can see we actually have a trendline resistance coming down. Once we break that trendline resistance and get into the cloud here, we're going right up to $200 for Litecoin. So it was a really great entry, and it was a really good learning opportunity because this trade kind of came together using all of my various techniques, and I figured it would be a good example to share with people publicly who aren't as familiar with my my models and strategies. And if you guys want to learn more, obviously just follow all my stuff on YouTube. And if you really want to learn and you want to work one-on-one and get the live streams and phone calls and all that stuff to really focus on learning this stuff, you can join Flux Trading Group, where I work with my premium members and we do one-on-one calls and chats, and we do live streams with everybody and work on a lot of educational content. But I also like helping people who can't afford to join a paid group. So if you're one of those and you're not in a position to join and support my work, I completely understand. I still would love to help you. So feel free to shoot me a DM. All of my links, you could follow me everywhere. It's all in my all in the description of the video. And if you need, just shoot me an email, shoot me a DM, whatever. Just get in touch with me, and I'd be happy to try to help you in any way that I can, within reason. Anyway, like I said, good example of how my various strategies work. Last point. I said there's always a possibility it can fail, right? We have certain supports holding that are making this a good trade. If those supports suddenly fail and they give out, the price can go down. It's an unlikely scenario, but if it did happen, the other aspect of my strategy, not my technical models and how I chart and everything like that, but my overall trading strategy is heavily dependent on risk management, and that's where that comes in. So you'll notice on this chart here, it shows at the bottom of this red area, you can see it says 2.61%. So that's the bottom of the red zone. That's where I've placed my stop limit order. So if the price were to tank on Litecoin, I would lose 2.6%. Now, if it breaks up, I'm going to make 10 or 15% because I feel like we're going to get a very strong and aggressively bullish move here. But if you place stop losses and you properly mitigate risk and you use and learn the proper risk management strategies and techniques, you can get into trades where you don't overexpose yourself. You can't take a big loss, but you can get a huge gain. And that's ultimately the goal. So even though I'm bullish, even though I'm very, very confident that this trade is going to work out very well for me and everybody in my group who traded with me, I'm still prepared for it to go down, and I've set it up so if that were to happen, I won't take a big loss. I've mitigated my risk, so I'm not overexposed. And if it were to dump, I would take a very, very small loss, especially relative to the size of the gain that I'll make if it does continue on that upward trajectory. So anyway, that was a good example. I just wanted to break it down for you guys. Hit me up anytime. Thanks.